guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Waving back to you. Sub Hodge, DJ Stars here. I authorize this is here. Okay, Deb, see you out there. Titanium in the house. Welcome back. Everyone has a story to tell. What's your educational story? We're going to start in a little bit. And, everyone has a story to tell, but what's your educational story? I'm Martin Smallhorne, and the goal of this IG is to find out, when was that aha moment in your educational journey where you decide, you know what, that's it. I'm just going to go all out. I'm going to be as successful as possible. So the goal of this IG is to hear educational stories from around the gram. I'm looking forward to hearing these beautiful stories. Tonight we have an amazing story. Our special guest, I am DJ Authorize, aka Laquan Castro. We're looking forward to hearing his wonderful journey. And DJ Authorize, my actual very first students when I started teaching back in Pacific High School back in 1996, 97, and that's when I first began actually to take this education serious, fresh out of college, and the thing about this show, what I'm trying to get at is, okay, so we're born into certain zip codes. Like I was born in Jamaica, West Indies, but I grew up in the zip code of Brownsville. If you know anything about Brownsville, the code is never run and never will. Okay? And in Bed-Stuy, Bed-Stuy, do or die. Ooh. But Brownsville, you come up in Brownsville, it's a very special place. Most people think of Mike Tyson when they think Brownsville, so you already know we're fighting out the box. But like I said, one of the goals about this IG is to not, is to knock that distinction of your zip code will determine your destiny out of the box. Because the great Bob Marley said that every man has a right to decide his own destiny, which is true. But guess what? When you're coming out of certain zip codes, life happens. Okay? And as the great Biggie Small said, either you slinging rocks or you got a wicked jump shot.
All day.
And in this case, without further ado, I'm gonna bring on Mr. Laquan Castro, aka DJ Authorized, because he happened to have the latter, the wicked left hand jump shot. And without further ado, like I said, I met Laquan Castro back in 1996 1997 when I first started into education, and you all know my passion for education. It's all about supporting our students and giving them that, trying to give them that option that you can be successful and you will be successful. So without further ado, Laquan Castro, welcome to Yes, Your Educational Story. It's all yours. The show is yours.
Thank you for having me, man. It's an honor to be here. First of all, just like I said, you could have picked anybody, but I appreciate you and thank you for giving me the platform to be able to speak and, tell my story, not only through life and through personal life, but also through education.
Yeah.
I can start off with the youngest I could go back as elementary school. I really, couldn't read or write because I was in so many foster homes and, going through a lot and not understanding the importance of education because I was just in so many foster homes, from place to place to place.
And where was that? I'm sorry. Where was that school? Was that in Brooklyn?
It was in the Bronx. I was born. People don't know, and I rep Brooklyn all my life. People don't know, but I was born in the Bronx, but raised in Brooklyn. So I was in the Bronx, and then came back to Brooklyn.
Okay. All right. Boogie down to Brownsville.
Boogie down. So around I say 4 or 5 years old, I felt myself really didn't want to read out loud in school and things like that. So I just taught myself how to read, which kind of developed just listening to things and music and I guess back then you can't even say we had the internet, but just try to read papers and pronounce words and One time I thought 99 cent was $99. I was like, I ain't got $99. They're like, no, you got to understand your cents and your decimals.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, I asked, I wasn't afraid.
Yes.
So as I got older, I was in like the 4th grade, 5th grade, you know, well, I could read and, you know, write. I could do, you know, pretty well, but just my behavior kind of like outtook, you know, me being, you know, the smart kid that I was. But what happened was, you know, I was cutting school at 4th. I'm talking about this is the 4th grade, 5th grade. I'm cutting school.
Wow, early.
Selling bikes, 6th grade. I was a terror, like, you know, because of, you know, what I was going through all the other foster homes I was in.
Okay.
You know, because, you know, back then they told me education was nothing. Oh, just get out the house. You know, I'm talking about this is young age.
Okay.
So we had, like I said, you know, me cutting school and doing everything else. My mom's back then she like enough is enough. Had hit me with the pimp petition. For y'all don't know what it is.
What is that? Because people don't know what that is. If you know, if you're not from the environment, you really don't understand the severity of the petition.
So everybody don't know what a pimp petition is. Like for all juveniles, that's like now y'all got so much leeway. Like now you can't be touched or your mom can't say nothing to you. It was this thing that she'll have a pimp petition on, what is like, so if you get cut school, get in trouble. I mean, anything with the law, anything that has to do with the law, they automatically will run your name. And if the pimp petition pulls up, they'll send you away to a residential treatment center, which is like Yonkers. And, you know, back then to us, we didn't know what Yonkers was. So
what is that? Where is that? Yonkers.
So Yonkers, I was like, man, look, I'm talking about, I seen deer, skunks, and all kinds of stuff.
You might as well be talking about the home.
Right. So, you know, I kept on acting up. Then one day my mom was just like, enough is enough. Like, you gotta go. So now I'm 13 years old. I'm in group homes.
Yeah.
Again, it was like, you know, really like I didn't understand like what was going on and why I was so angry, why I was so upset. But then, you know, my brother my older brother Vaughn, he introduced me to basketball at a young age.
Okay.
So I thought, you know, as I got to the group home, that's what everybody wanted to do is basketball, boxing, or football. So I was like, you know, let me start shooting some hoops, shooting. From that group home, I finally went back home. Me and my mom still knocking heads. She called the pimp petition again. I go back away. I'm in a group home. So right now I'm in like 6, 7 different group homes already. And I'm talking about maybe I'm in school for a month and a half in each place. So I'm not even getting education. I'm not learning nothing. I'm not reading. I'm not doing anything. So I'm just skipping because I'm going to so many foster homes, not because of.
So there's no stability at all. You know,
at all. It's just all behavioral and, you know, outrage and this, you know, anger that I was just trying to leash out on everybody. So as when I got to, I say about high school, like people don't know, I went to Westinghouse and got kicked out of Westinghouse. That's how bad I was. I'm talking about early 91, 90s.
All right, hold on a second. First of all, shout out to George Westinghouse.
Yes.
My alma mater.
Not a great
right?
Jay-Z.
Shout out to the house. All right.
Yeah, Jay-Z. You got Biggie that went to that school. Busta Rhymes went to that school.
And I was there. I'm dating myself, but Jay-Z and I were freshmen at Westinghouse in 1984. Yeah, it's crazy. That's for another story. But shout out to the house. Go ahead, continue.
So now I'm in I'm with, you know, going to Westinghouse and So from before, let's rewind it back a little bit before, you know, the group homes and stuff. My mom put me in special ed. So now I think, right, because she like, oh, you know, I'm cutting school too much, so put him in a special ed program. Because from the group homes, those are special ed schools. So when I came back home, it was like, no, this is the kind of environment he needs to be in. So she put me in special ed, not because I couldn't read or write, it's just behavioral. Yeah. So now I'm in special ed with like, first I went from 30 kids to like 6 kids. I'm like, what kind of sugar honey iced tea is this? Like, like, it's not for me. So, you know, but you know, I was just like, nah. So the 7th grade, I was just like, I can't do this no more. I'm not dumb. I'm not, you know, I said, let me take the IP test, whatever test you need me to take. I passed it with flying colors, but it's like, it's your behavior. It's not you. We know you are capable of doing, you know, reading and everything, but it's just your behavior. So I was like, okay. So now I go 8th grade. I'm in 263 on Marcus. You know, I'm from Brownsville. People don't know. I'm Brownsville till I die. Never ran, never will. Never had a fight. I'm about these knuckle games
Well,
work, but that's another story. Anyway,
yeah.
so I was in Brownsville. I went to 263. I went to 156, and I finally graduated from 298. That's when, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I could do it. So now, 8th grade, I'm in 263. Mm-hmm. They had me in, at first, a special ed class. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had to teach Miss Chase. She was like, look, this kid is brilliant. He don't need to be here. And everybody kept on trying to tell my mom that, because like, no, it's better for him. This is what. So they finally got me out of special ed in 8th grade. Now I'm back in another group home. Then I come back home. Mm-hmm. So 9th grade, went to Western House. Maybe I say about 2-3 months. I went to school, mm-hmm. and my highest grade was like a 35. Wow! Literally, like, was a 35. Mm-hmm. I got caught up with the girls, and you know, back then it was Decepticons. I got caught up with them. Mm-hmm. You know, people that don't know, that's like the original Bloods, and y'all don't know. So I was hanging out with those guys, getting myself in trouble, and one day I viciously did something that I wasn't supposed to do to this kid. And luckily, I was in a group home already that they would have been. I would have did about 6 years. They told me, if I wasn't in that kind of state at the time. Yeah. So, and it was over a girl, over something crazy. So, I'm in a group home now. I go from, I was in St. Christopher's, I was in Grand Windham, which is in Dobbs Ferry, Yonkers. I was in that school for a while. You know, Rob Wallace. Anybody know DJ Robbie Rob? All those guys, we was in school together. Okay.
So you went from Westinghouse to Dobbs Ferry? Straight
to Dobbs Ferry.
Wow.
And Dobbs Ferry, I'm talking about, that was like, back then, that was like 80 hours from my house. Yeah. You know, you had to take the Metro North. It was, it was a bus, Metro North, MTA, and then another car to get to my mom.
So are you there? Are you staying in Dobbs Ferry, or you're traveling back?
I'm living, yep. I'm living on campus like I'm in college already. In the ninth grade. Okay. So this now I'm just going through the process. So now I'm again in the classroom with bozos, and this like so we had to take a little IP test to get to to see what level classes you are in. So I got to like the second to the highest level. So that's the guys that was like, I ain't gonna lie, there's some geniuses there. I had some kids that were hard as hell. Yeah, but like I was right there. I said I was good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But just being in there, then I just also went to basketball. So that's when my education and my basketball began to like flourish, because now there's like, look, you like this sport, you love this sport, but if you're not educated, you're not smart, if you can't read, you can't write, then basketball is not going to mean anything to me or to you or to anyone else. So I said, okay. So I started taking like, school serious. And then I was like, you know what? I feel that I'm bigger than this. I don't need to be here. So they shipped me to Sleepy Hollow. So I used to play for Sleepy Hollow back in the days in Sleepy Hollow, New York.
Yeah. Now, some people don't know, like people are listening around the world. They're like, Dobbs Ferry, like, what the hell is that? That's upstate, right? Upstate. A little bit outside of New York City, outside of the Bronx, just like Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow is maybe another 2-3 hours outside of the Bronx, right? And so now you're playing for Dobbs Ferry. You're starting to figure it out. I don't know if that's the aha moment or not, but
no, it's not the aha moment. Okay, aha moment. It will be here about maybe like another two episodes about come right now.
All right, okay, so, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so so then I'm playing in Dobbs Ferry. I'm going all over. I'm like ranked number 4, number 5 in the county, and people's like, oh, who is this kid? And I come in from a group home, and I'm playing with Elton Brand back in the days with Peekskill, and I'm like, who's this dude? They're like, yo, he's about to go to the NBA. I'm like, NBA? He's looking at me like, who's this dude? I'm like 5'9", 5'10", doing windmills like at 14, 15 years old. So he's looking at me like, I'm impressed about him. He impressed about me. So then I was like, yo, if this is what basketball and being educated is about, I was like, yo, why not? Because at that time, I heard he's going to Duke. I said, what is Duke? There's a prestige school for the basketballs that you have to have a brain. You know what I'm saying to you? So I was like, that kind of made me like, I want to play against guys like that. And so after that, I went back to the group home, and me and the counselor, she didn't like me. It got things, so she told me I got to go. Went back home. I'm home now. I'm in the, in the streets right now. At the time, so my mom's like, okay, I'm gonna give in. You can stay downstairs in the house, but no nonsense.
Yeah.
Um,
How old are you about that time?
I was 17.
17. Okay.
17 at that time, and I'm just going through it. And then my mom said, enough is enough. I'm out the house." Yeah. So now my godmother opened her doors. I'm in there, whatever. And around this time, my sister is going through cancer. She has cancer. She had cancer. Yeah. So I was just, to just comfort her.
So you got the world on your shoulders at the age of 17. And it doesn't sound like there's anyone really there, like, like concretely saying, okay, look, this is what you need to do. So go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so and as I'm speaking my story, people, that is coming on, like, where's the educational part? That's the main of the story. There's no education throughout this whole thing I'm doing. So it's just like,
and listen, there's education, but not in the form of school education, because there's different forms of education, right? This educational journey of ours, we're always learning, no matter what our situation is. That's what people have to understand. People equate education with school. For dudes like us that come up in certain zip code, that education is when we step outside our door in the streets. Yep. That's the first part of education. That's where the term street smarts come from. Yep. Right? So I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
No, I mean, and which, like I said, which condemns in my story at the same time. It's like I was more street smart living in Brownsville and learning from the OGs, even though like they're like, look, young fella, you can play, but we ain't having this. You know what I mean? Now it's a whole different camaraderie. Like right now, like people's like, oh yeah, young fella, come on in. Like, you know what I mean? Back then it was like more of a structure. You know what I'm saying too? So it's like I had that street structure, but I just had to emphasize it into the classroom structure to understand, like, all right, this is life structure. You know what I'm saying to you? So
yeah, I dig it.
Now, my sister passed away. My mom's come tell me I lose my mind. I drop out. You know what? I don't want to go to school no more. So 17, I drop out of school.
Okay. Life is happening.
So 17, 18, I'm just in the streets. It is what it is. 19, I'm not. I came to I think that's when my aha moment starting to come. So now I'm just like, all right, boy, you're about to be 19. What are you doing with your life? You playing? I'm at the time I'm playing. I'm lying. I was not doing something. I was playing with Riverside and Gachos, and because if you're not in high school, if you're not, you're a dropout. Lloyd will have a team that we used to go to Paris, Toronto, Montreal, and I'm talking about I'm winning dunk contests like, and people are like, who the hell is this? Like I was so small back, but I was lethal with it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but I'm all over playing ball, going all over the place. I'm just going all over the place, and now I get back home. It was just like, what do you want to do with yourself? What is you right now? What can you do? You can't do anything. You can't go to college because you don't have no degree. You don't have nothing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get my GED. So I went to go get my GED. I tried it. It was people that was like my age, plus, and there was people like was my mother age, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, So I had this wise man one day, so I go into Pacific High School. Before I go to Pacific High School, I was telling this guy, like, yo, look, I'm about to get my GED. He said, why? You didn't even graduate. I said, huh?
Wow.
I said, what you mean by that? He said, didn't even graduate. He said, I see the potential in you. You're taking the easy route out. So you rather go the easy route by not graduating, or you rather graduate and say, look, I did it. Not saying there's anything wrong with a GED. It's the same thing because you're going to work hard for it, just as you work hard for a high school diploma. So I go in there. I see a guy with dreads, which this man right here used to have dreads. And Miss Helen, that's what, I don't know who else I don't know where I'd be right now, to be honest with y'all. And this is not being funny because he's on here. They knew my story. I explained to them. I told them what it was, who I was, and what it was. And they kept it real with me. They were just like, look, you come here, you graduate, go, we're going to make sure you go. Or not, you fuck up, you're gone. And it was like, yeah, like you and Helen says, not one, not two, you fuck up, Castro, you're out of here. So being at Pacific High School was one of the best, my aha moment, because I think that right there at that time changed my life. I mean, not just having you as a father figure, having you as as a role model, as a friend at times, as a brother, you know what I'm saying, as a listener, you know what I mean? My ups, my downs. Times I want to kill people, times I don't. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
was always that person that was there for me. And I tell people to this day, I still don't fucking. I'm sorry, my language, y'all.
That's right.
This
Go ahead,
motherfucker
man.
gave me a D. Listen here, I am the between me, Roscoe, and Cliff, and all these. I was one of the top players in the school. I'm killing. I'm averaging almost 30 points a game in high school. And if y'all don't believe me, ask Mr. Smallhorne. I'm talking about high school when we had to play redirection. We played school
Regional.
Adrian Walton. Like
Yeah.
this is not no regular that y'all talking about y'all playing now. I'm talking about top dudes, that top rugby guys who we was playing against and in our alternative high school, as y'all may call it.
Now hold on. I want to stop because I want people to understand that Pacific High School was, because it's closed now, but was the first alternative high schools for students who are age 17 to 21. So one of the reasons why I got into, this specific field, like if you heard my story the first episode, when I left college with my first master's, I dedicated my life specifically to a group of students age 17 to 21, overage and undercredited. And your story, just epitomizes why I dedicated my life to that, because you're 19 at the time, right? No high school diploma, but the world is like, what do you do? Where do you go? But I knew in my mind that there were students like you out there that needed that support and that structure. So it was just, I guess you call it the universe or a blessing that I was there kind of waiting for you to get there to assist you with your educational journey. And it's, you have all of the goods, but you are an example, and these are the stories that we want to hear, that aha moment, but also that educational journey, because people don't understand, it's not a cookie cutter system. Like, life happens,
right?
Here you are with all these gifts, right? But because life is happening, the world is just moving at different places in your life. You're not given that structure, and but here we are now.
Even what you're saying with structure, like going back to you giving me a D, you was like, you're telling me, shout out to Uncle Drew. Rob Wallace is the reason why I came to Pacific, and thanks Rob, appreciate you, my brother.
Drew.
Rob Wallace, Robbie, Rob.
Drew, what's up?
Anyway, Patterson, I call him Wallace. I'm thinking about the other one, Rob Patterson. So anyway, so like you said, was the structure with the D. You gave me a D, and I'm like, and when you broke it down to me, you were like, look, I gave you a D not because of the work you did, tremendous work. I did a video, you went all out. You gave me a D for effort. My effort wasn't as good as the work was. And you told me, look, if I give you an A or B now, how can you in life get away with anything? Like, you're going to get in life, you're going to try to get away with everything else. You know what I'm saying? And by you doing that with the structure, you kind of taught me, like, look, if I don't go get it, it ain't going to happen.
No, it's not.
I mean? So it's like, and I appreciate you for that. Like I told you, money or anything can't buy what what you have done for us, or many kids. Like, I see a lot of people writing saying, well, for in Pacific, like Pacific changed many lives. I still see and talk to a lot of people from Pacific. You know what I'm saying too, and they all doing well. The class that I was in, they all doing well, doing something with themselves, because again, you took care of us like we was all your children. Like, your papa's in the head. I mean, like, look, this is back then. Y'all can't do nothing now. We're grown now. So, you know what I mean? But you to let us know, like, look, not that I'm your teacher, but I care about you. I love you. Like, look, you would sit me in the office and talk to me like, yo, you want me to fail you? Like, I'll give you an effing and think nothing of it. I don't care. And you used to talk to me like, I'm like, yo, this dude's like serious. Like, and you did the shit with no smile. He's like, all right, love you. Talk to you later. I'm like,
because listen, man. Because, and now you know why, because, this world is not going to give you anything. They're not going to give you anything. And the biggest misconception that people make is with our students, is that they pass you. But then when you get out of college, when you get out of high school and you go into high school and you go into college, you realize, like I realized, when I got out of Westinghouse, I wasn't ready, because they just passed me along. Or, some grades I definitely earned, but there were times where I was like, huh? So I wanted to make sure that you got that real education and that real truth, from the beginning, so that way you be prepared. At least you have the tools to.
And I think by you doing that, not knowing that you prepared me for that, and I'm gonna just tell the story real quick because a lot of people might not know. So I go to I call Ted Gus. Ted Gus is one of the biggest guys that did a lot of things for people in Brownsville. Yeah. Shout out to Ted Gus. Shout out to Rick Rivers. All these guys that did big things for kids and back in the day. That who are they are now, like Kimball Walker and the all these guys we can keep on naming. But Ted Gus did me a favor. He's like, yo, you graduate high school within a year. I promise you I'll make you a call and see if I can get you a full scholarship.
Okay.
I graduated. I said, Ted, I got my degree. He looked, made a call. The call went from, hey, I got a kid. Huh? Okay. All right, cool. I'll let you tell him. Hey, he giving you a full scholarship. And at 15 years old, I said, tell my mom I'll get a basketball scholarship. She's like, yeah, whatever. You ain't gonna do nothing, because she was like a stepping stone. But if she was not like putting me down, but she's like, look, I believe in you, but look, you're not showing me that. So I'm gonna be hard. No, prove it to me. So that's what I've done. So after I proved it to her, I was like, look, I graduated, boom. I said, Ma, look, I got a full scholarship. And she looked at me, I said, what'd I tell you? So now my last dinner was in the Windows of the World. For people that don't know, that's the Twin Towers. Rest in peace. Had my dinner there 18 days before it got hit. So I went to Florida, I went to Texas. I'm playing. I'm dribbling up the court mid-season. I'm like a freshman, averaging like 19, 20 a point a game. I'm doing like hella well. Vinny Johnson went to the school, and it's called MCC McLennan. Okay. So we go to, ready to warm up. He passed me the ball, and my teammate dies right on the floor.
Oh my God.
The only thing that came into me was like, Martin was like, used to tell us, like, look, pressure bust pipes. What do you do in aha moments? What do you do in any moment? What do you do in your down moment? What you do in your up moment? Like, what is that you do? So I just like, yo, look, I believe in God, got me here. So I brought my teammates together, try to console them, like, look, it's gonna be all right. This is life. Blah blah blah. My teammates turned their back on me, robbed my apartment, everything while I was in school taking finals. Long story short, they didn't want me there because I was gonna be like, my first year I was about to be an All-American. Okay. And I'm talking about, I'm playing Howard, I'm playing San Jacinto. People that don't know these schools, y'all better start doing your homework real quick. Yeah. Anyway, so we go now. I don't like it there. I go to school in Navarro. Shout out, these are my brothers for life. Shout out to Navarro College in Corsicana, Texas. So I sit my first year out, had a coach, just like his name is Coach Orr. Yeah, I thought y'all was twins. The only difference now, y'all look alike. You're just black, he's white. Okay. That's the whole because Cameron, that's the school that Cameron went to. And he kicked them out, and the coach kicked them out. Okay. So, Coach O was on me. Daily, one time I almost barely broke my kneecap. He's like, oh, you gonna let your little kneecap hurt you, huh? You got all these muscles, you don't know what to do. So I'm like, shout out to my cousin Rel, because Rel know how Coach O is. Yeah. So now my second year I'm playing. We're about to be on the top league, on a comeback home after a good win. We're number 1 right now. Yeah. We get hit by 18-wheeler. Killed 2 of my teammates. Right on this. I'm talking about my first year, my first teammate died. Second year, 2 of my teammates died. Oh my goodness. So now I'm just like, I'm about to give up. And Martin, I promise you, from you and to all the other role models that was in my life, all I heard was like, it's not going to get any easier. Falling back is doing what? Look where you came from. From being a foster child, everybody see like Antoine Fisher movie, my life is just like that, times 5. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm telling my molestation. 4 years old, 5 years old, people doing all kind of crazy shit to me. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, do I turn around now because I had 2 of my teammates that actually died in front of me and I saw this whole accident? I'm talking about, I'm up like this for like a week straight, didn't sleep or anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now it goes to another fighting in my life. Now I graduate. After all of that, I still graduated, got my associate. Okay. So I was like, okay, cool. Let me go.
So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. You went from foster home, all these struggles, overcoming these obstacles, and now you got your associate's degree.
Got my associate's degree.
Shout out to you.
Thank you.
That's beautiful, man.
No, but like I said again, and I'm not, I'm giving you my roses while you're still here. It's like, because of people like you I had in my life to say, look.
Well, thank you.
Pressure bust pipes. If you know you got it, the pipe's gonna be A-okay from now and forever. You gotta change them now and here. You know what I mean? You know, you get older, like your knees, they get older. So So now I'm like, okay, cool. I got my associate. Now what? What am I do? So I'm talking about we have Wichita State, Indiana State, Evansville, all at my school. Yeah, we want you. We want you. We want you. I'm talking about they sending me these letters. Yeah, Courtney Castro hit the 3 at the end with the buzzer. I'm talking about stacks and stacks. I said, Coach, can you please tell them to stop because I'm trying to focus on the season. It's only 6 of us playing because half of my teammates didn't come back because of the trauma and things like that. So it's like 7, 8 of us, and we made it to the semifinal game. Almost took the championship. You know what I mean? So I don't have no school to go to now. All these schools backed out at me at the last minute. I have no school to go to. So one of my teammates came back up from a visit in North Carolina, as Elizabeth City. So I told him, I was like, look, how do they need it? He's like, yo, they said they need a shooter. Give him a tape. I sent the tape. The coach called me the next day. Yo, can you make it here tomorrow? You got a scholarship. I'm like, shit. I'm like, hell yeah. So me and my moms, we drove to North Carolina for scholarship. Shout out to Sean Walker, Elizabeth City. We went, and we took the 2007 CIAA championship.
That's right. As we do, all we do is win.
Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, now I stay an extra year to help coach and do other things, and so now this is when I'm good friends with Jerome Williams, Junkyard Dog, from the Toronto Raptors. He's like, look, I got a team in Toronto, so I go play ABA. I play overseas. Shout out to Eric Jones. I start playing with the Harlem Wizards.
You went so fast with that. You're so humble. You went so fast. I played in the NBA. I went overseas.
Yeah. So anybody that's seen the movie Just Right, that's how I got my workout with the New Jersey Nets back in the day. That's when they was 10-72. They're Harlem. Now shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn all day.
Brooklyn all day. Brooklyn wins again.
So now I'm like, okay, now life happens. I'm working in the group homes. I'm doing this. I'm giving back to the kids, and you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, go get your education. But now I'm sitting back like, how I'm telling kids to go get the education, and I only have an associate and a high school diploma. And I'm telling them, go get your 4 year. I'm telling them, and I didn't finish school. So now I convert from the basketball person to Mr. DJ Authorize, who everybody know me today as. I authorize this. I am Brooklyn, the nice Biggie stuff. And I got you something nice. I got you something nice.
And let's pause there for a second to shout out the fact that you went from a group from the group home to now being an entrepreneur, right? A little stint in the NBA, played overseas, all of this and all of these things from Brownsville to Dobbs Ferry to Sleepy Hollow to Texas, Pacific High School, Westinghouse. All these things that are going on through your educational journey has brought you to a successful place. You have your own your own business. As Jay says, I'm not a businessman. I am the business
man. right.
So let's take a second to plug your company for real.
Okay. So my company is I Authorize This. Anybody that's following it is at I Authorize This. IAuthorizeThis.com. That came from a basketball story. Shout out to Rick Rivers. I didn't know where I was going to come up with the name from. Like, I was like, I'm in a group home. I'm starting to play music for the kids, DJing for the kids. And back then, I was 16, 17 playing with the pros in BRC. So people were like, yo, so Rick Rivers got on the mic one day, like, who authorized you? I'm looking at this dude like, oh, he must not know. So when people tell me I can't, for haters that y'all keep on saying, oh, he ain't got nothing, please keep on, because that's my fuel to my fire. You know what I'm saying to you? So
we love it.
Of course, yes. Yeah, keep it coming, beloved. So you see how you stupid.
We love it.
So I told him, I'm like, yo, keep on talking. So now I'm killing people. I'm talking about killing. I ain't gonna name no names. We gonna keep that on another conversation. Shout out to my cousin June, and shout out to also CBS, my man Brad. He's in the building. Yo, productions.
What's up, Brad?
Appreciate my brother. So so now I'm like, okay, so that Authorize stuck in my head. So now I'm like, yo, I'm gonna name myself DJ such and such. Not no good. I said DJ Castro. There was a dude named DJ Castro. He's killing the lady, girl, DJ, whatever. And now I'm like, okay, what can I do? I said, how can I I said, DJ Authorize. I Googled it. Nobody had it.
There it is.
So now I'm in it. I'm in a relationship. This girl was like, yo, why are you always wearing someone else's stuff? I said, what you mean? She's like, you always wearing somebody else's stuff, and you make it look good. Why don't you have something of your own that you can wear? So I said, shout out to her too. I ain't gonna name no name, but thanks for her idea. But so I was like, wait, I'm gonna put DJ Authorize. She's like, no, something that's catchy. So on the back of my card, it says, I authorize you to dance. I said, what? I said, I authorize this. She's like, I will wear that. So now it went from a hat from 2015 to what it is now, clothing, sweatsuits, jackets, sweaters, socks. I'm coming with drawers. I come out with button downs. I'm doing it all, man. I'm trying to just do it all. So it's like that Brooklyn mentality. I have that Brownsville mentality. Like Biggie said, you gonna have sling crack or have a wicked jump shot, or and me a body like I used to go back in the days back in Fulton Street. People don't know Beats. I used to run down there. Yeah. Steal a couple of tapes. I was the best thief. I ain't gonna hold you. I was a thief. I was Puerto Rican.
Listen, man.
Spanish people are thieves. Yo. I was a beast with Mark. I was troop. I was the alarm off. I was gone like that. So I used to have these tapes, and my mom was like, "Yo, stop listening to." I was raised and born in church, y'all. Listen. That's where I got my
DJ church factor.
From. Yes, I used to play the drums. I was a beast. Organ, keyboard, everything. So that's why I got my DJing skills and everything also from church. So, I used to listen to Biggie Smalls a lot. And then it was times like my mom used to call a petition. I used to have this one line I used to play for her over and over and over. You have to stop, rewind, play, stop, rewind, play.
That's
but I had
two tapes. So
I had 2 tapes. So I had to flip them on. So the line was, you call in the city for help because you can't maintain, damn shit done change. Yeah. So it was like, a lot of his lyrics, a lot of his inspiration that he has rapped about and went through, I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of what I do, my passion about Brooklyn, my passion about just everything that I do, like if it's DJing, just anything. It's just I go hard for it. You know what I'm saying too? So it's like this is where I'm from. This is what where we are. So we're gonna let people know what it is. I can do it in a corporate way, I can do it in an urban way, and I can do it in a hood way. So it's like I have many flavors. I got anything you want. So
listen. I want to thank you. You got the trifecta. I want to thank you for sharing your educational journey.
Oh, we didn't finish.
With us. Go ahead.
This is the last one. It's gonna take a minute. So after the DJ Authorized, boom boom, who I am today. So now I'm 2018. I was just like, look, I have 130 something credits.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do? I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. I went back to school.
Okay.
2018, 2019, no, 2017, 2018. I went back to school because one teacher failed me on one writing class. I ain't gonna lie, I hate to write because of my thing is like I like to wait to the last minute. Like I still do that with education.
Oh my God.
But no, hold on. It's like because I can't study. I don't know if I study, I'm not gonna remember it because I think about it right then and there. I'm a better learner like that, and which is kind of weird. Just like I said, it's just the base of me, the way I grew up. So the way I study is kind of weird. So people were like, "How do you study the night before?" And then still, I said, "Because it's the night before. Before I can remember everything the next day." You know what I'm saying? But I study weeks and weeks and weeks.
Listen, everybody has their own study style. Whatever works for them.
So now now I'm in here taking my class. I'm in work mode. I'm in here. Okay. Boom.
And you're working on the bachelor's now, right? That's
I'm working my bachelor's, so it's called it's a bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
So it's like I can be a preschool teacher, which I was before. You can be a professor in college, an entrepreneur. It's like an all around degree in everything. But it's an arts degree, but it's an all around degree, which it has a lot.
You're well rounded. You're well rounded. You're well rounded.
Pretty much. Yeah. So and then finally I said my final in. I said congratulations, Mr. Laquan Castro, you graduated. And going from a kid that this is my yes story. A kid that couldn't read, that couldn't write, that met people, great people in his life, that taught himself, self-taught how to read and write and everything as well. From group homes to foster homes to whatever it is that you've been through. At the end of the day, Mr. DJ Authorize is going to tell you, I authorize everything that I've done. I authorize the people that come in my life and to come out my life, the positivity that I'm allowed to be in and allowed not to come in, and as well as meeting great people as you, you know what I mean, and a lot of other people I can name, and people that's on this gram right now that is family, that's, you know, that's everything to me right now, you know what I mean? So it's just like, from going through all of that and still be able to get a high school diploma, associate degree, and a bachelor's degree. I don't want to say that. This is why I want to tell my yes story. Don't say it's not possible. Anything is possible as long as you authorize it. That's it.
I want to thank you for sharing your educational journey with us. This is a very impactful and powerful story, man. I hope it resonates with a lot of people. And I think it's safe to say that the road is not for the swift, but for he who endureth the longest. Yep. And we're going to sign off now, but as usual, we sign off with our quote. And tonight's quote is, the elevator to success is out of order. You're going to have to take the stairs. Okay? You know, once again, for those who are interested in being on the show, please DM me at m.smallhorne on Instagram. And we would love to share your story with the gram, share your educational story. So DM me. You can either send me like a 2-minute video, or you could just text, right? Okay, but we would love to share your story, and hopefully it resonates and impacts, you know, someone in the world. Laquan Castro, I am beyond proud of you. Beyond proud of you. I've known you from when you were like, you know, very young man. And to see you develop to be the man you are today, I am beyond proud. And let it be a testament also that your present situation should never determine your ultimate destination. And just because they say your zip code is going to determine your destiny, here is an example. You know, DJ Authorize is an example.
Hold on, he said, hold on. Somebody said, can you say that quote? Well, I ain't gonna lie, that quote is dope. Can you say that quote one more time?
What was that?
The quote said,
the quote of the night, and then we're out. The quote
of the night. Y'all write it down. Y'all write it down.
The elevator to success is out of order. You're gonna have to take the stairs. Okay.